Well, hi, everybody, and thanks for tuning in another time to Let's Not Talk About the Husband Who Was Here.
Yeah, you have your podcast voice on.
I know. I like that
You're
podcast
getting your
voice.
Podcast
Hello,
voice.
everybody. This is our podcast. I know. It's my radio voice.
All right, I'm going to get right into it. I have a question to ask you, and then we're going to answer some questions from our Instagram that we got. But I was driving down the car, and I thought, I'm going to ask Harry this, because Harry Hamlin, you were in one of the first gay movies ever to be made, correct?
Well,
one of them.
One of the first big studio gay movies.
Okay.
Yeah. So 20th Century Fox was the first big studio to make a gay love story. Yes.
So who made Cruising with Pacino? Because that was before
I don't know
Love.
I don't know who made that, but if it was before, it was only like a year before, and it depicted the sort of that world, the gay world, as a kind of underworld
and like murder, and it was dark.
It did not portray the gay world as being sort of normal in any way.
Okay.
It was abnormal. But 20th Century Fox, and they were, I guess, courageous enough to do a real love story, a real story about what was happening at the time in the country, and nobody really wanted to talk about the sort of gay lifestyle that was going on at the time. It was just still kind of very discreet, if that's a good
1981. I mean,
Yeah.
when was it that it was basically illegal to be gay and they were arrested? 50s?
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was illegal up until not long before we made that film.
Really?
At least in certain states, and still illegal in many countries. You know, I mean, it's still in certain Middle Eastern countries. Yeah, you get your
Right.
you die. So yeah.
So I'm driving in the car, and of course, we are watching White Lotus,
Yes.
and we love it.
Yes.
So I'm thinking to myself, now we're actors, and I'm driving in, I'm thinking, okay, I got to ask Harry Hamlin this. If you were in the scene with the brothers, you're one of the brothers, and Mike White said to you, okay, you got to reach over and you need to jerk off your brother.
Oh, wow.
What would Harry Hamlin do?
Well, I mean, to begin with, I'm sure that it wasn't a real jerk off. I mean, it was a movie jerk. It was a prosthetic. And it wasn't actual. He wasn't actually doing that. So,
Right.
I mean, it's just kind of, to me, between brothers is a little odd, I would say. I mean, that kind of crosses a line.
Okay, but you're in the
then
scene.
again-
You're working with Mike. You're in the scene, and Mike says, okay, go over there and
Well, we would have worked it out before. I mean, that would have been something that we had talked about in session before shooting it. It wouldn't happen on the set. Oh, okay, Harry, now reach over and jerk off your brother. No,
but
that wouldn't happen.
I'm
that
saying
way.
it's already been discussed, and as an actor, is that something that you would have done? I would think yes, but I
You
don't know.
mean,
I thought,
would I have a moral objection to doing it?
Yeah.
Or
any objection to doing it.
Look, in the context of art, in the context of what they're trying to achieve with that show, and with any show that portrays that kind of sexual activity or whatever, incest as it was in this case between brothers. I mean, there's a statement that they're making about the fact that that does happen in the world, and I'm hoping that it's kind of unusual, but at the same time, maybe it's not.
You're not answering the question.
Am I dodging the question?
You are so fucking dodging this question. I'm watching you just.
I'm trying to squirm
You're like
out
a
of it.
freaking politician over there.
Well, look, put it this way: if the check didn't bounce and they were paying me enough, I'd reach over and jerk them off.
Of course you would. Okay, thank you. All right, Jesus. God.
Anything else? Do you have any other questions about like incest or jerk offs or something like that?
I did hear quite a story in Paris. Oh my God, I can't even repeat it though.
No, let's not. Go there.
I can't,
If
but I'm
we
going to
can-
tell you
If we
something.
can avoid going there, I would appreciate.
Let me tell you
that. I don't
something
know.
though. This story at a cocktail party, at a dinner that I heard. Actually,
now
Mike
you've whet
White
everybody's-
would love to hear this story.
You have whet everybody's appetite
I
now.
know.
Can you actually go on with this podcast without telling that story?
I don't know if I
and
can.
have people like throw things at you?
It is something
Lisa,
else.
you just dropped a big bomb.
I did.
You're not going to actually let it explode?
No, not yet. I might at some point, but it's like, I think Mike White would, let's say I was having a little dinner.
Mike White, by the way, is
with
the
Mike.
producer, creator, director, writers of White Lotus.
White Lotus,
just so
who's a
people don't
genius.
know.
And I think Mike White would love to hear this story that I heard from a very famous drag performer in Paris this last time I was there.
But I'm sure it's juicy. Mike,
blew
if
my
you ever
mind.
hear about this or anybody tells you about it, DM Lisa and she'll tell you the story. Okay.
Okay.
By the way, I like your hat.
Thank you. It's my Prada one. It's kind of my OG bucket hat.
I
keep it in my
hat.
bag for when I travel. So I always have it.
And by the way, we did not get the same memo today about what we're wearing.
No.
I just did Access Hollywood.
To talk about your cooking show
to
that's
talk
coming
about my
back
cooking
out.
show that's coming back on April 30th.
Season 2.
Yeah, season 2 of In the Kitchen with Harry Hamlin. I mean, who would have thought that, number one, I would have a cooking show, or number two, we would have a podcast where I would be talking about the cooking show on a podcast. I mean, those two things, 5 years ago, somebody had said to me, oh, by the way, you're going to have a cooking show on AMC and you're going to have a podcast. I would have said, you guys are nuts.
Right. Well, stick with me.
Is it you?
It's me. You just have to, because you stay open to the universe and you just say, yeah, I think if you weren't with me, you would only do acting roles and you would not have branched out.
Well, maybe yes, maybe no. Look, as the business has changed since I started 50 years ago, in those days, you could only be an actor, and you really could only be an actor on film. If you were an actor on television, you were kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel back in the 70s and 80s. But now it's entirely different. You can do, not only you can be an actor on film, you can be an actor on television, you can be an actor on YouTube, you can be an actor online, you can do a podcast, you can write a book.
You can do OnlyFans.
You can do, well, okay. Well,
well, maybe not.
I mean,
maybe you can't.
Is that the next thing we're going to do is OnlyFans?
Listen, don't ever put that. I mean, listen, it's not something that I would think of, but what if we just did OnlyFans with our feet?
I've heard that you can make money taking pictures of your feet, but my toes are disgusting.
Well, I wouldn't do yours, and I'm not sure I would even do mine, but maybe. Mine are kind of cute. My feet are kind of cute.
Your feet are kind of cute.
So what about that? What if we did, or we could do like the family Hamlin foot fetish on OnlyFans.
Oh, how about this?
We get the girls to do it.
Since I think I caught foot fungus from you. So I have.
Why do you think you caught it from me?
Because you had it before I did.
Had it?
I think you had it before I did. Did you not?
Probably. Everyone on the planet
Everybody
must have
has foot
fungus at this point.
You get it when you squeeze your toes into shoes that are too small. Toenail fungus, not foot fungus. Toenail fungus. So we could do an OnlyFans kind of expose of whether or not the toenail fungus medicine actually works, because it doesn't.
By the way,
but there's all these people out there who say it does, and they swear by it, right? Even though there's a little, the small print says this is not meant to cure or any disease, whatever.
No.
But people swear by, you put our stuff on your toenails, it'll go away right away. We could do a whole OnlyFans expose on of our
toenail
feet
fungus.
on toenail fungus. Yeah, I only have it on one toenail, but it's still
I only
gnarly.
have it on. Well, I have it on only one right now.
Is this too much information?
Way too much. It doesn't make us sexy at all. Like, it just took our sexuality down a few notches, but that's all right. Well, my halcyon addiction took it down. My toe fungus.
Okay, well, we're human. Put it that way. We have certain qualities that are shared by other humans that may not be the most attractive things, but it's human.
We are human. We are.
That is true. And we have a little puppy that we just got too.
We did get a little puppy.
Yeah.
We did. Chita Rivera.
I've always wanted a little, ever since I met Panchito, who is Pancho, who's Henry Eikenberry, who is Delilah's boyfriend, has a little dog named Pancho, and we had to take Pancho for a few days a couple months ago, and I fell in love with this little dog,
little
little rescue terrier, wire terrier.
He came from Puerto Rico.
So I said, we've always had big dogs.
I know.
I started out when I was a kid, when I was like 2. We had a big Dalmatian, and Dalmatians can be somewhat large. This was, to me, really big because I was only 2.
We were little.
But and then we went from there to Rhodesian Ridgebacks. We had several of those, huge dogs.
Huge.
And then went from there to I had a rescue dog, a black dog that I had.
Spud?
Spud, back in the day. And then
I pay attention.
Yes, you do. And Spud was a brilliant dog.
I pay attention.
Spud came out of nowhere. We were shooting somewhere in the desert, and this dog walked out of the darkness into the light, and no collar, came up to me, sat down next to me, and I took her home. And she was my dog for years. Great dog. And then we had retrievers.
Well, we had Annie and Buddy, and then we had the
And
Rottweilers.
then
And we had
Rottweilers.
Lola, and now we have
So
Rocky.
all these big dogs.
Huge dogs. So,
So
now we have this
I've never
little
had a
4-pound dog.
I know. It's really
She's
so
4
sweet.
pounds. You love her.
She's the sweetest thing
You
ever. I
love
mean,
her.
I am so in love with this dog. I mean, she's almost stolen my love from you. I mean, almost.
I know. Trust me. I see it.
I know.
You
but
love this dog. It's okay.
She's so sweet.
It's fine. She's lovable. She's going to open you right up.
I know. And she's
Make
Rita
you very
Moreno.
sweet and
you know?
lovely.
Yeah.
No, Chita Rivera.
Oh, that's right. We
Not
were
Rita,
thinking of Rita
not
Moreno.
Rita Moreno.
No.
I love Rita Moreno.
That's
but,
true. It's Chita Rivera. Well, how do I get that confused? Anyway,
oh my
so
God.
were they in the same movie?
They may be. Let's see. Chita did, she did Chicago, obviously. Rita and Chita, were they in the same? Was Chita in West Side Story? I think so.
Okay. So,
I don't know. Now you have me questioning.
Okay, everybody, here we are in the middle of like a Google
Chita,
moment.
Did Chita Rivera and Rita Moreno work together in what? They had to have.
It's a Google moment.
They had to have. Anyway, we named her Chita Rivera.
Chita Rivera and
Chita.
and
short.
she's a sweet, sweet, sweet animal. Just a lovely companion for me.
So cute.
She bonded with you on day one, though. And
Well, that's because you went to acting class for 5 hours, and I took care of the puppy. The puppy bonded with me.
Oh, that's so sweet of you to do
Got
that.
jealous, and I said, and I almost had a fit, and I said, okay, you're taking care of this puppy all day. That's that. I backed off, and then she bonded to you.
No, I'm so pleased that we have this new addition to our family.
It's so cute.
Yeah, I know.
It's so
just like,
sweet.
I go walking with her on the trails and stuff like that.
You have a little sling that you
I got
keep
a sling
her in.
for her. I mean, she's too young to put down on the ground
So
right
cute.
now on the trail and stuff like that. But I carry her with me on the trail. We have a great time.
I know.
Yeah.
It was super
So
cute.
are we going to do more questions?
Yeah,
What's
we're
the
going to do our
story?
Instagram questions
I'm gonna have
today.
some
And then we're
coffee
going to
right
play
now.
a game. Oh my God, you guys, it's going to be so much fun.
Mhm. Okay. Let's
All
go.
right, Eve,
All right.
let's do some
Eve.
questions.
Hi, Harry. Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
Okay, let's do it. So
Yeah.
we got some questions from your Instagram followers. So I'm going to read them and
Okay.
then we can get into it. All right. First question. How do you keep such a strong sense of independence in your relationship while also still having the feeling that you're a couple in love?
That is a really darn good
well,
question.
You know, I think we decided early on that we would get into therapy.
Well, we
And
had to.
I mean, I think everybody has to, right? I mean,
we
come
had
on.
no choice.
Look, everybody has to, take a look at their relationship early on. And it was during those early
But
sessions.
most people do not do that.
I know.
They don't have to. We were forced to because you were so fucked up
Well, okay, I admit the fact that
from
I was.
your marriages.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I had gone through some emotional ups and downs, okay? And Katharine Hepburn said every family has their ups and downs. Well, I had a few. And
But I think most people don't. In the beginning, it's so lovely and they're infatuated and they don't need to, so they don't.
Well, that's
so
it.
for
There's
you
that-
to say that in early on, everyone should get into therapy, they don't. But we did, and I think it was helpful, but most people don't. So think about the people that don't. What are you going to tell them?
I'm saying find a therapist right away. But no, we did. But to answer the question, I mean, we kind of made a pact in a way between the two of us, whether it was spoken or unspoken, that we were going to let each other do what we wanted.
I think it was more unspoken.
Yeah.
And I don't think many couples are
By
very.
the way, it's not an open marriage, but go ahead.
No, it's not an open marriage, but I think most couples are not. They don't seem as comfortable with letting their partners do their thing.
Because they don't trust each other, and I think trust is such a huge part of a relationship. I don't think, do you ever get jealous when I go off in location? I never get jealous when you
don't.
go off in location.
But I
mean,
trust you.
well, as well you should.
I do, but I trust you, so I don't. But most people don't, I don't think, trust their partners. So I think it's based in fear. I think when things are based in fear, it's very difficult to allow people to do their thing.
Absolutely. It all comes down to fear. I mean, and I'm sure that because I've said many times that I've never even looked at another woman since I met you, except my kids, my daughters. And
You don't
stuff
even
like that.
look?
No.
I mean, come on, you got to check them out a little bit.
Yeah, but not in that way. I never look.
No,
I
but
don't
you
look at I'd like to hang out with that person.
Yeah, but
or go
don't
to
you?
bed with
I
that
look
person.
at
No.
people and go, "Wow, that's a very attractive man," or wow, what a
Well,
body.
I can appreciate
or, yes.
attractiveness, but I don't lust after.
Well,
it,
I
for
don't
sure.
either.
You know.
But I do appreciate it and go, wow.
So I think to answer that question, it's like, we trust each other. We're not jealous people. We allow each other to go. I mean, I don't have a leash on you. You don't have a leash on me.
No.
And it works brilliantly that way.
It really does.
And we still love to go out. We're going to go off this weekend and have a great weekend together. Didn't one of our friends say, do you still like to go places with him?
Yes.
Did that happen?
We have a few friends who have split up with their spouses over the last year, who had been married a very long time. And this was a friend of mine who'd been married a very long time and who split up with her husband. And she said, you still like to go places with him? I said, yeah, I do. It's fun. She was shocked.
Really?
Shocked.
And how long had they been married?
28 years.
How long have we been married?
28 years on Saturday.
I know. And for some reason, they couldn't stand going places together anymore?
Well, I think it had been for a while.
No.
I think, here's my feeling. I'm starting to watch a lot of our friends have split up. Let's just be honest about it. I mean,
do you think this is a trend that happens when the kids leave?
I do.
Empty nest happens.
I do.
What do you talk about now because there's no kids around?
I do.
They should have a podcast. And then you have stuff to talk about.
I do. Well, I think what happens is, obviously you stay together for the kids. Once the kids are gone, you have to look over there and go, oh, that's who I ended up with. Oh. And if you haven't been doing the work or the person bugs the shit out of you and finally you're like, well, I don't want to be with this person anymore. I mean, that seems to be what's happening. Or they see something greener pastures on the other side.
Well, the grass is greener is definitely an issue. But you said if they're not doing the work, what's the work? So that just our audience people know what the work is that couples need to do in order to have the kind of relationship that we have.
Well, I think communication. I think they're not communicating at this point.
Right.
Like they're really kind of living separate lives and not coming together.
What other kind of work? I mean, because we also do work,
spiritual
reading work and reading, books by great minds and people who've gone down the path of life before us and done a great job with it. And, I'm always soaking up that stuff because I think there's lots of people out there who've had this life experience that we haven't had. And yet they've been able to write it down and make it palatable, make it readable, make it understandable and kind of fun. I mean, look, when people like Eckhart Tolle, for example, he wrote a couple of great books.
I don't think people are doing that. I don't think they're reading. I don't think they're curious anymore. I think they're bored. I think they're tired. I think they're self-medicating. And I think they've given up in a sense.
Yeah, but then that's it. I mean, it's kind of like retiring. Like we're both of retirement age right now. I mean,
I wouldn't say that.
I'm definitely
you might be, but
age.
I am not going to say that.
We're creeping up to that age. Look, I mean, are you getting emails from AARP?
No.
I got them for years. Maybe they don't know you're there yet.
I hope they don't have my email. I don't fucking want it. They tried to send me that magazine. I was like, fuck you. No, I don't want this magazine. Sorry.
I know. But anyway, we're getting up there. And I think a lot of people kind of retire. And when I say that, they sort of say, well, I've learned everything I've learned in life. I'm done. From now on, I'm going to play golf or whatever.
Well, but don't you think that the men, that's the midlife crisis for men, and they find themselves a 20-year-old? I mean, that is classic.
I mean, the trophy wife.
Well, yeah, it's classic.
But you're my trophy wife.
Well, yeah, you lucked out. I mean, you really did.
I did,
you
everybody.
Did.
Actually, take a look at that.
You got me, and that doesn't, I think when people get really complacent, they're no longer curious. They're no longer like caring about how they look, or like for a woman, you hit menopause and you're not taking your you're not on hormone replacement therapy, which by the way, I think is key for everyone. I'm not an expert, but you got to be on hormone replacement. You have to.
Okay, I'm just going to chime in here and say, as soon as she went on hormone replacement, like our life got really good, everybody. So, and if she skips it,
you have to, but most women are scared because they did these research things, 25, 30 years ago that were not thorough and scared the shit out of everybody. And everyone's like, I can't take it because it's going to cause breast cancer. No, it actually, I believe, protects you. I'm a huge proponent of it. I am not an expert, but I swear to God, If I wasn't on hormone replacement
We
therapy,
would be divorced.
Yeah.
More than likely.
Yeah. And
Just
I
saying.
would be, as Dr. Khalsa, God rest his soul, we love him so much, said to me when I went into his office, and, both my mom and sister had breast cancer. And I said, oh, I can't take hormone replacement therapy. I can't do it. And I'm like not sleeping. My hair's falling out. I'm fucking pissed off all the time.
She's breathing fire.
I'm so out of my body. I can't sleep. I'm just a nervous wreck. Like I'm flipped out. And he looks at me. And this is when I was like 52. And he goes, okay, so if you don't take it now, by the time you're 60, you will have your hair falling out, your skin will be dry and brittle, and you will be on 2 separate antidepressants, and it will be too late for you to go on.
And you'll be single, more than likely. So,
I think that if you are of my age, because everybody's always saying to me, like, how do you do it? Like,
how do you do? Because you were just saying that, you were 52 when you saw Dr. Khalsa. You don't look a day over 45 right now. So it's true.
You.
Well, but it's true. I mean, look at this. Look at this one.
I mean, first of all, I sold my soul long ago, so that probably helped.
I hope you got a good deal on it.
I mean, that probably holds the key to some of it. I don't know. I drank the secret potion. I don't know. No.
You made a Faustian bargain?
No, I did not do that. But seriously, in all seriousness, I think it has to do with certainly diet. I mean, my diet is not super great, though. As you know, my diet is good.
Slim Jims?
Exactly. Hostess Twinkie, Slim. No, but I don't eat. My diet isn't quite as clean as yours. But
well, you're not as old as I am, too. And I do have a very clean diet, but,
But I'm consistent.
Yeah.
I don't go too far this way. I don't go too far this way. I don't go too far this way. I don't go too far that way. I've been consistent with working out since I was 16.
That's true.
And I did
work out like a
jazzercise.
banshee. You never stop.
I like to work out. It raises my endorphins and my serotonin, and I swear it helps me. That, consistency with my diet, and hormone replacement therapy. That keeps you young.
And it also keeps us together, which it may be answering your question.
Yes.
And what's the secret to our, look at how cute she is.
Estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone.
And she's cute.
And I would fucking kill you if you tried to take it away from me. Like
The estrogen?
if you said to me, can't take it anymore, I'd be like, I will never stop taking it.
Well, no, are you kidding me? I'm gonna make sure you take it forever.
Yeah.
What do you
It
take?
makes your skin better. It makes your hair better. It makes your bones. Oh, let's talk about my bones. It helps your bones. And I already am in osteoporosis just now. I think I've already talked about it, but I was in osteopenia.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
So it's like on the verge.
I know what osteoporosis is, and I know that you've got that shot thing that you do once in a while.
Well, no, I have to figure that out. We haven't figured that out yet. The insurance company is a little tricky when it comes to this, osteoporosis drugs.
Aren't insurance companies always funky when it comes to anything that's actually helpful for you?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Right now, I just need to shoot myself with a bone-building drug. There's a bunch of them out there, and they're giving me the runaround, and I'm starting to get pissed off about it. So everybody can relate because they're dealing with the insurance companies all the time. I'm having a little moment myself where I'm like, I don't want to shoot myself every day with a fucking needle. I want to shoot myself once a month at the most, or how about once every 6 months? And guess what? They have that out there.
Yeah, well,
There's one called Divinity. That's the one I think I'm going to take.
Well, we just can't give up. We got to keep going after that. So
anyway.
Did we answer the question?
Yes. Go to the next one. I think we did.
All right. Next question.
Sheesh.
Okay. So this question is from Marco from Milan.
Oh.
Might be too personal, but how is your relationship with Harry's son? Are the girls close to him considering the age gap? Love and miss you so much, Lisa on Real Housewives.
Oh, thank you, Marco.
Ciao, Marco. Sta bene?
Well, Dimitri was just staying with us for about 2 weeks.
He lost his house in the fire. Okay, Pacific Palisades.
Lost everything.
So lost everything. He happened to be traveling when the fire happened, so he had all of his most important stuff with him. His laptop and his phones and all that stuff. But anything that was in his house or his apartment was toast.
Yeah.
And FEMA gave him a hotel for a while. That ran out. Then he came to stay with us. He's gone back to Rome now, Zaccarolo, which is north of Rome. We get along great with him. He's 40, just turned
44.
He'll be 45.
He'll be 45. So, I mean, he's like a man. Like, he's a grown man. I met Dimitri when he was 11.
Absolutely.
And the circumstances, when you are entering somebody's life when they are 11 and they don't want you in their life is tricky.
Well, it's always tricky with a stepson.
Always.
I mean, come on. But
always.
But we've worked through all of that, and years have gone by, and now everything is copacetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's tricky, to be a step parent, which I just wanted to, be. You didn't want to like parent another kid that never
really
lived with you. He didn't live with you.
He was kind of grown up by the time. I mean, he didn't live with us at age 11. He was still living with Ursula, his mother, Ursula Andress, in Rome, and then moved over here when he went to Princeton, and then moved to New York and moved out here.
Yeah, so he was never really around a whole lot. No. So I think we have, a nice relationship.
Yeah. We love Dimitri.
Yeah.
He's doing great. Thanks for asking, Marco.
Yes.
Ciao.
This question is from Lucas from Austria.
Oh.
I would love to hear some details about how you as a family handled being on Real Housewives. For example, how did you decide when and who in your family would be shown?
Oh.
Well,
the show kind of decides that, and then you decide whether you want that. I mean, we have to be honest that we set a special, thing with you from the beginning that nobody else had.
Well, from the beginning, yeah, I made sure that I didn't have a deal with them that allowed them to use me whenever they wanted.
Like all the other husbands. All the other husbands really wanted to be on the show.
They wanted to be on the show.
They all were dying to be on the show.
I didn't understand that.
You had to make 3 appearances. Was their wish.
It was a wish. It wasn't a requirement.
It was a wish. If Harry could show up 3 times, they would be happy and keep their mouth shut.
And I think I probably did show up 3 times per year.
You did. But
briefly, anyway.
If you think about it and you look back on it, I think nobody realized it at the time, but we kept you very much off.
Yeah, that show is like a minefield. I mean, you never know if you say something, you never know who's going to pick up what you say and run with it and make a big mountain out of some molehill with it. So I was very circumspect about being on the show, and I just decided I would stay in the background and really not participate too much. I left the dirty work to my wife, my beautiful wife.
That's right. Thanks, honey. Anyway, so you weren't on very much. And the family stuff was a little bit, the girls would come through. Sometimes I'd have to bribe them. Because, when they
bribed the kids?
Oh, yeah. Because they were teenagers.
Money?
Shopping, clothes.
Oh, really?
Whatever. Yeah.
Oh.
At teenage time, no one wants to film Housewives. We started the show when I think they were 13 and 16. No. Are they younger?
I don't know.
They were young. And as they got older, there was one time they wanted them to film so badly. And I literally had to, I had to buy something for both of them because they were not having it. And I know Kyle Richards has had to do that too. Teenagers do not want to film Housewives.
No, and Dimitri, my son, definitely didn't want.
No.
He had a real thing.
He was
about
never
it.
coming near at that time. No.
Ironic too, because when he showed up for just a few seconds on our little reel that we did for the sauce for the food company, he was only on for like 2 or 3 seconds, and it went out into the universe, and people went nuts for him.
No, I know, but
kind of a handsome kid.
I think he's gorgeous, but he had, like people do, he had a judgment of doing a reality show, and I don't blame him. People have judgments, and he was like, I am not going near that. We
Especially
were like,
that one. I mean, of all reality shows, a Housewives franchise, a Housewives show is like probably the most radioactive of all shows you can do in reality.
And if you think back and you look at the kids on the show and what has happened with some of them, and they've become part of the storyline, it's not okay and it's not good. And I never liked it. I never ever liked that part of it.
But I think it would helped when they wanted to go out in the world and become supermodels or whatever they wanted. It really helped that they had that exposure. It helped for the Hadid sisters too, and the Hamlin sisters.
And the Jenners, come on.
Yeah, no.
Reality has been a very good launching pad for the supermodels.
Absolutely.
It
It's an
has.
amazing stepping stone.
Who would have thought, though?
And I have such gratitude that whatever exposure they had on that show gave them a boost into what they're doing now. Now,
And-
they would never have been as successful as they are if they didn't have the work ethic that they have, because they really work hard.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. Because, and I always say this, they're Nepo babies. They know they're Nepo babies. That's the fact. As long as we can get you in the door. We can help you open the door. But if you don't have the skill to stay in that room and work your ass off
Exactly.
and be kind, it's frivolous. It doesn't even matter.
And I think that to be kind is what you just said there is kind of a very key point, because the girls are so kind.
They're
and
kind.
so they have such empathy.
Yes.
They're real empaths.
Yeah, especially Delilah.
Especially Delilah,
Yeah.
who's like funnier than ever.
God, she's funny.
She's hysterical. And I think because of their kindness and their empathy, it's one of the big reasons why they have been so successful.
I think so too, but I think everyone needs to know that in order to get to where they are and stay, you have to work really hard. Those girls, all of them, I'm talking the Jenners, whoever, the Hiltons, all of them, those girls work their asses off.
That is very
They
true.
are professional. They work really hard. You can't keep it for, like, let's say Paris Hilton and Nikki. You can't keep that for 20 years unless you've worked your ass off. Same with the Kardashians, same with the Jenners, same with the Hadids. Those girls work.
They worked really hard.
They
And,
work.
and a few of them might have had run-ins with drugs and alcohol or staying out till late or whatever. But,
I don't know.
our kids really didn't
I
get
don't think
involved with
so.
that.
Well,
Most of those
maybe a
people you
little,
just
but-
mentioned, yeah, I mean, everybody kind of goes through that when they're teenagers and starting out. But our kids, had a slight brush with all that stuff, but very slight. And now they're on the straight and narrow, and they realize that being on the straight
They
and
got
narrow
lucky.
has given them an amazing life.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
I know. But they have to work. They're working their asses off.
That is very true.
And it's really, I find that as I look out in the landscape with all the girls that have come before them, they have set the stage of really hard work. It's work.
And their exposure on the show was not that amazing. I mean, they were on for a time once in a while.
Yeah.
They were never like a major part of that show.
No, except Amelia's moment, she had her when she was going through her eating disorder. That was a moment.
Yeah.
But I don't think she would ever trade it.
No.
For ever say, oh, I wish I hadn't gone through that, because I think that is whatever they go through is part of what makes them who they are now. And Delilah's had her own health issues that we've dealt with, and it's not ever easy, but it makes them into who they are.
And who they are is amazing, and they teach me every day.
I know, me too.
How to live. Did that answer your question? Just curious.
I think so. Yeah, I think it did. Another question we have from Kunmi from Lagos, Nigeria.
Oh, wow. We're all over the world,
I know.
Terry.
I know. We're taking it
We are
international.
global, honey.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is another Housewives related question. If you could put together your dream Real Housewives of Beverly Hills cast from all seasons, who would be in it?
Oh, what a great question.
Well, the Fox Force 5 for sure.
Well,
right?
Fox Force 5, Eileen Davidson.
Describe who the Fox Force 5
Okay,
is first.
Teddy Mellencamp, Erica Jane, Dorit Kemsley, Kyle Richards,
And you.
and myself, Eileen Davidson.
That's more than 5, or is it 5?
No, you can have as many as you want.
Oh, Fox Force 6?
No. We're talking about if you could have your own housewife cast.
Oh, this is the cast. But
This is the cast.
You've been through the Fox Force 5.
Yes, we've
already,
got the 5.
okay.
We've got Eileen. Who else? We're going to make the best housewife franchise of Beverly Hills ever.
But when you say best, do you mean the prickliest, the gnarliest,
Well, it
the
could
nicest,
be. Well,
the
no,
loveliest?
not the nicest, but who would you think would make the best television? Think about that.
Well, I mean,
I mean, I might have to put LVP back in there as much as I don't want to, maybe,
yeah.
but I think we put her in.
I think Lisa Vanderpump
think we put her
probably would
in.
be one of the all-stars for sure.
I think maybe we put her back
yeah.
in.
Yeah, no, I agree, because I've always been very fond of them, the Vanderpumps, which they're not the Vanderpumps, are they?
No,
What-
they're the Ken Todds, but whatever.
Yeah, the Ken Todds. So Ken and
But
Lisa.
yeah, listen, I'll put my ego aside for a second. I'll put her back in. She won't come, but we'll put her in. Eileen for sure. Who else? Anybody else?
I mean, Denise, trouble?
I might put Brandy back in.
Brandy.
Brandy's great TV.
How's she doing, by the way?
She's not doing well.
Oh.
No. Brandy's
I saw
having
something
some
maybe she
real
was having a little hard time.
tough times.
Oh.
We send Brandy love
Yeah, let's
and
send Brandy lots
prayers.
of love.
I'm going to put Brandy. I'm going to put Denise. I'm not Denise. I'm going to put LVP, Brandy. I think, we've had some of the worst housewives on the last couple of years. Some of them. I'm not going to mention
since you left?
them.
Have you watched it?
No, but I know that there's a couple on there that just I don't think are great housewives. So some of them are going, and we'll bring back the ones I think are good. So I'm going to say Fox Force 5. There's 5. Eileen, LVP. Oh, it's hard to say, but I said it. And Brandy. Brandy. And maybe Yolanda.
So how many is that? It's 9 or something, right? How would say 5?
Yeah, that's a pretty strong cast.
Yeah.
Right
That's
there.
a strong cast.
I
of
would watch
women.
that.
Are you kidding?
And of those people, would you go back?
Never.
If you put that cast
Well,
together?
I don't know. You say that. I mean, I can't ever say never, right? You can never say never.
Really? You've always said never before. This is news.
Well, I never thought about like a great cast to have. I wouldn't want to do it for very long. Maybe we do like an ultimate girls trip. How about that? Let's take it back.
Okay, so not a whole season.
Not a whole
just an
season.
ultimate
Oh,
girls trip
phew,
with
I
those
feel
people.
better. All of a sudden I can breathe. Oh my God, I started to fucking choke. I started to get so nervous. I'm like, what are you doing,
I
Rinna?
can see that you were beginning to spin.
Okay, so let's do a one-off girls trip.
You
To the
can
Maldives?
pick
Where
people
you-
from any franchise. What
Any
about
f-
that?
okay,
What if
so-
you add in Salt
okay,
Lake City?
So now
or-
we're going to do a different one. That's the Beverly Hills version. So now if we're going to do like the best cast.
Count
I
me
think-
out. I have no clue what any of the other ones
No,
do.
I know.
So
We'll
you're,
do this quick for you.
Take it away, Lisa.
Okay, it's going to be me. It's going to be Lisa Barlow. It's going to be it's going to be Luann. It's going to be Sonia. It's going to be Erica. And it's going to be Tamra from OC
I don't know who
and
these people
Vicky from OC. And
Do I know any of these people?
you do, but you won't never remember them.
Oh, okay.
And it's going to be Kenya from Atlanta. And it's going to be, wait, where am I? I'm thinking of other cities.
What about Potomac?
Potomac. Oh, that one went to jail. Karen. Oh shoot. Karen just got a big DUI. She went to jail. Shoot, Karen. Sorry, I would have put you in there. Anyway, Karen.
Okay,
but
so
she
you've
went to
got your
jail.
cast now.
That's good, right? That's
I
enough.
would
I feel
absolutely
like-
That's a
watch
fucking
that.
great
Oh,
cast
yeah.
right there.
I'm a total outsider, not knowing anything about this. But
That's
anyway,
all right. Anyway, it was good.
so you're gonna put this cast together and go on a trip.
Yeah, we're gonna go.
Where are you gonna
go? We'll go
Someplace nice or someplace?
Egypt.
Egypt.
Let's
down
go
the
down
Nile?
the Nile.
Oh, that would
And
be
then
cool.
we're going to go on safari. So we'll take Beverly Hills, the Beverly Hills group will take on safari. And then the multicast group will go down the Nile and go to Egypt.
So coming from Nigeria, from Africa, I guess she's going to spend some time in Africa with this new cast from the Housewives.
Yeah.
And you're going to go to Egypt.
But we can't call it the
And then-
Ultimates Girls Trip because I think that's already taken, obviously. So we have to come up with a new title.
Well, the name it's immaterial. It's the cast. It's the location. It's the Nile.
Yeah,
and
we're going to
it's-
Egypt
And it's
and
a safari. Are
Safari.
you kidding? So it's Africa.
Bravo. Call me.
All right.
Peacock.
There you go.
You heard
we
it here
answer-
first,
Did
Andy.
we answer your question?
Call me Peacock. Call me
yeah.
Bravo.
Okay, I love it. Do you guys want to transition into a game? I feel like
Yes.
it's
Let's do a
time for a
game.
game.
Why not?
Yay.
Okay, so I have a new game for you guys that we have never played before.
A new game.
It's called He Said, She Said.
Oh.
And so I've put together a list of lines that you guys have said in either one of your scripted shows, from Housewives, any TV show, any movie you've ever been in. And you're going to guess first who said the line, Lisa or Harry. And then second, for bonus points, what is
Where-
it from?
Okay, great. This
Oh
will be
my
hard.
God.
Okay,
No
you guys
way I
ready?
do this. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's going to be hard.
Okay, let's do it. So, first one, I'm not trying to make a scene, but I do love a good scene.
A good what?
A good scene.
I'm not trying to make
Make
a
a scene, but I do love a good scene.
Mm-hmm.
I feel
That
like
would be you.
I was going to say, I feel like that would be you.
No, that's you for sure. Scene I'm talking about what?
It could be a character that you played.
Well, yeah. Okay. Obviously, we're terrible at this game. What
I mean, it seems like it'd be something I would say on Housewives,
Yes,
but I don't
exactly.
remember it.
Well, I think it's you said it.
All
Did
right.
she say it or did I say it?
So it was Lisa, but it's not from Housewives. It's actually from season 1 of Melrose Place.
Oh!
Taylor McBride.
Taylor McBride.
Taylor
okay.
McBride said it. Oh.
Okay, so that's
All right.
one.
That's
Okay,
good.
there's the first one. Second one. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to win.
I think I might have said that somewhere, but it sounds like something I might have said on Mad Men. Did I say that?
Yeah,
as Jim Cutler?
you got it.
You
Mad
Yeah.
Men.
You got one!
Yeah,
What do I
season
win?
2, episode
Do I
1.
win gold
Wow.
coins? What?
Yeah, I know. I need to get a
That's
prize
good,
for you guys.
Harry. Wow.
Jim Cutler.
Jim Cutler.
Okay, next one. I will fight for this family until my last breath.
I will fight for this family till my last breath. It sounds like something I might have said
In a show.
in a movie
That's what
of
I
the
think.
week or something. But I don't remember it.
I don't
did I
remember
say it?
Any guesses from what show?
Did I say it?
Yeah.
No.
I said it.
No.
I said it?
It's Lisa.
Oh, then it's got to be Housewives.
Nope.
No, it's not. Is it
Best.
Days?
Nope.
Melrose?
Nope.
Veronica Mars?
Yep.
Veronica Mars.
Veronica Mars. That's
that
right.
makes sense. Yes.
You
it's
played my
Lynn
wife
Eccles.
on Veronica Mars,
Lynn
and
Eccles
you
would have
drove
said
up.
it.
You drove up on the bridge and jumped off the bridge, so they think, right?
So we think.
yeah.
I
okay.
still think she's alive.
She-
I still think Lynn Eccles is alive.
Well, but Aaron, I'm your husband. I'm dead. They got me. One of the
You
best.
are
One of the
dead.
best death scenes, by the way. They had me sit down on a couch, smoking a cigar, drinking a snifter of expensive brandy, while I watched myself on television jumping a barbed wire fence like Steve McQueen on a motorcycle, which I did for another show. And then I'm sitting there, and I just have had a blowjob, by the way, from this girl who walks out. I mean, it's like the moment, the best moment of
was
your
such
life.
a great show.
And all of a sudden, in comes this gun. You see it behind my head, and you hear, and blood splatters all
Brilliant.
over the television. And it was like the perfect way to go out.
It was so good because you were such a narcissist. You were like that show was amazing. How lucky were we to be
I know.
part of Veronica Mars?
I know. I thank my lucky stars all the time about that.
God, that was a
Some
great
great
experience.
scenes that I had with Rocco.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Great time.
Okay.
Oh, I
Love
love
it.
this.
Love
actually.
it. Okay, next one we have I'm going to put on the charm whether I like it or not.
Put on the charm, whether I like it or not. Who puts on the charm? Put on the charm.
It's-
like, hello.
It's a
hi,
character?
How are you?
Is it one of the characters?
Um,
I don't know.
This is a very hard game.
This is a very hard game.
Really almost impossible
I know.
game.
I
to
don't
play.
really, after I do a show and learn lines, they go out the window.
dump
I
it.
don't remember anything.
You have to dump it. I
Okay,
mean, we learned
I'll
so
help
many
you guys
lines.
out.
Help
I'll help
us.
you out. So this is from Days of Our Lives. So it was Lisa.
Oh,
So
as
that's
Billy
like
Reed.
30 years ago.
wow. Billy Reed. God love her.
30 years. You don't remember after 30 years? You're saying that
Yeah,
line?
no, I don't.
Yeah, you
I
got a
do
terrible
remember
memory.
Billy having her acid trip, though. Her dad trying to molest her and gave her acid. I remember that. I had to be on acid.
Oh, yeah?
Or LSD
Now,
or whatever.
When you did research for that, did
I
you
did.
take a little acid to get?
No, I have never taken acid.
Oh, but how
But
did
I
you
just,
like,
you research it and you just kind of come
could
up
look at
with your
Timothy Leary when he-
impediment.
Oh,
I don't know. It would be interesting to see that now.
I bet it's out there somewhere. Lisa on acid. Okay.
We suck at this game, but anyway, keep going. I like
Okay.
it. I do like it.
Okay, next one. Sometimes you have to break the rules to find the truth.
Oh, wow. Of course, it sounds like I would have said that, but I don't think it is. I think it's you.
Sometimes you have to break the rules to
In order
find
to
the truth.
find
That
out
sounds
the
like
truth.
something a lawyer would say. You know, it sounds like a law
Oh.
thing. You know?
I think you might be right.
Maybe
I think
LA
it sounds
law.
like LA law,
Yep.
maybe?
Yep. LA
Like
Law.
Michael Cusack
Yep.
in LA Law?
There it is.
I've gotten two. Okay.
We'll take it. We'll take it. It's pretty
Okay,
good.
good.
All right. I think that wraps up this game.
How
Okay,
fun.
well,
We
that-
sucked,
yeah.
but
Well,
I mean,
I mean-
it kind of is fun to remember that you did these parts.
That's true. I mean, look, well, if I go back and think about it,
My God.
I did a podcast the other day where they said that I had done I had 91 credits or something like that, and I've never looked at. It was on my IMDb.
Oh, for sure, you have at least 91 credits.
I've never looked at IMDb, at least not in the last 10 or 15 years. So I don't know. I mean, I guess I've done a lot.
I always think you should go back and look at all the things you've done, especially if you're like having a pity party and, you know, you're feeling sorry for yourself. I'm like, go look at the work that you've accumulated. No, I say that to all actors. It's like, go look at your resume and see what you've done.
Well, it was Jeff Lewis on his podcast, and he seemed to be quite impressed that I had done 91 things, which I couldn't remember any of those things. Special, maybe 10 of them, but not 80 more.
For sure.
So anyway, yeah, that's, there you go. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching this show again. Who wants to, what is it called?
Let's not talk about the husband.
There you go.
There we go.